it's Anatomy Julie in my skeleton suit. So today we're going to do our 12 steps into you creating your neutral alignment. What that means is everything from your feet all the way up to your ears, the top of your head, you are going to engage the proper muscles, disengage the ones that you should not be engaging, but all by putting your joints, your bones in alignment. So there's two ways we can begin. I'm going to show you both ways. They are focused on your feet. You can see my toes down there. I'm going to come just a little. Nope, I'm not going to come forward. I'm going to cut my toes off. So bring your feet together, and I want you to try this both ways and see which way works better for you. What we are trying to do is put our leg bones in alignment. So my feet are together. I'm just going to widen out my toes or stretch them open and then line my heels up. That might be the place you want to be. Sometimes people over-exaggerate when we reach out. But what we're trying to do is, you see this bone that's sticking out right here? This is our anterior superior iliac spine, or our ASIS. And I'm trying to put my knees and the dorsal surface of my foot and the front or the anterior of my ankle right in a line with this anterior superior iliac spine. I know it looks a little different with the skeleton suit. For me, it's right here. So it's actually higher on one side than the other. So again, you can have your feet together, open your toes out, and then put your heels in alignment. You can try it that way. The next way, or the other way, is to place your fingertips near your belly button area. It doesn't have to be right on it. Just place your fingertips somewhere around your umbilicus. Lay your palms, your fingers and palms on your abdomen. And then right about where your wrist breaks or your palm meets your wrist, you will find that anterior superior iliac spine. It does not matter the amount of abdominal girth, that bone is there. So again, fingertips near your umbilicus or your belly button area. Lay your fingers, your palms, then have your fingers come forward. That makes your wrist break. From there, angle your fingers down, and you can look. You need to put your knees and that top part of your foot, or where your foot meets your ankle on the front, in line. So you can see a little bit. Now, this skeleton suit is a little deceiving. The reason why we have to do this is because our femur bone, which is this, is under angle. It's not quite showing that way in my skeleton suit, but it does come out and down. So it's under an angle. So we have to put that bone in alignment, which then makes my lower legs bones in alignment and my feet in alignment. So once you have that place, our foundational feet, that's where we begin. So all we've done is put our bones in alignment. Next, I need you to lift up all of your toes, how many of them you have, and that's going to rock your feet back so that you can feel the mound right below your big toe. So if this was my feet, it would be right about here. Your big toe mound, your little toe mound, and then I want you to focus on the center of your heel. What we are creating is a triangle on the bottom of your foot. And our triangle has three sides. So from the big toe mound to the little toe mound is one. From your little toe to the center of your heel is the next line. And then the last one is from the heel up to that big toe mound. That triangle needs to have equal weight on all three parts with your toes up. Once you have that equaled out, and make sure that you focus on your left and your right, because they might be different in how you're holding them. Once you have that, I want you to pretend that I'm placing a piece of paper, just a normal piece of paper, underneath your toes, and you're going to set your toes on the paper. When you do that, make sure your triangle remains equal. So foundational feet is toes are relaxed, triangle is equal. That's going to be repeated over and over and over again, because as we move up your body, you probably are going to change what you're feeling in your feet. And this is all going on in your mind. It's all to connect your mind to your body so that you can find your neutral alignment. So foundational feet first, toes, and triangle. Next, we're going to focus on these lower leg bones. So we have our two lower leg bones. And I want you to pretend that I'm placing something in between from between your knees and your ankles. So somewhere in this area, a balloon, a pillow, a yoga block, and you are going to energetically engage your shins to hold that pillow, that block, that balloon in place. Go back to your feet. Toes are soft, not wrinkling your paper. Triangle is equal. Engage your shins. The next is your knees. So we need to have soft knees. Now that doesn't mean that they are bent. It means that they're not locked. So if you're not sure, lock your knees and then soften them. That's it, soft knees. Now go back to your foundational feet. Toes, triangle, engage your shin, soften your knees. Then we're come up to our femur bone. So we have muscles that are attached to the top or the anterior portion of our femur, to the sides or lateral, and posterior or the back, all attached to our femur. Some of our lower leg muscles that go down to our feet are also attached. So that's why it's important to remember femur is under angle, which is why we have to do this. So I'm going to focus on the muscles on the front of my leg. And you know how a candy cane or a barber pole rotates? That's the image I want you to keep in your mind, because you are going to take the muscles on the front of your femur and roll them medially or towards each other. So you can see my hands are on the front. I'm going to roll my muscles this way with my mind. If you think it, your muscles will do it. So let's just practice that thought in our mind as we begin back to our feet. Toes are relaxed, triangles equal, engage your shin, soften your knees. Now swirl your thighs. So it's a thought process to take these front muscles and roll them in. When we do that, you might notice that you get an anterior tilt in your pelvis. So as soon as we swirl our thighs, we drop our sacrum. So the sacrum is where our tail would be. Drop that down to the ground. So we're going to repeat those steps. Foundational feet, toes, triangle, engage your shins, soften your knees, swirl your thighs, drop your sacrum. See how much it actually changed that? So toes, triangle, shins, soften your knees, swirl your thighs, drop your sacrum. Hold that in place. You should feel that your transverse abdominis, which is your muscle that is like a girdle, it's right here, that engages when we're in neutral alignment. It just happens. So it's a perfect core exercise just to find that neutral alignment. Still holding that. Now we're going to go up to the bottom of our ribs. I'm not really sure where it is on here. On my body, it's right here. Usually when we put all of that in alignment, our ribs are sticking forward. So we need to put our ribs in alignment with this ASIS. And if you want, you can put your hand there and feel. So go back, leave your hands here, go back to your feet. Don't look at your feet, just feel. Toes are soft, triangles equal, shins are engaged, knees are soft, swirl your thighs, drop your sacrum, bring your ribs in line with that ASIS. After a while, it'll just automatically happen. You won't be sticking them forward. So ribs in line with ASIS. I'm going to drop my hands because the next part that we're going to do is going to put my arms, which my shirt is not exactly in the right place, but it's going to put my arms, so my humerus, my upper arm, my lower arm, my forearm, and my hands all in alignment. And it's by focusing on our clavicle. So our clavicle is our collarbone, right? So in the center of our clavicle on each side is our sternum. So we're going to focus on our sternum and our clavicle. I'm still holding the rest of it. Hopefully you are too. If you need to go back, I'll repeat real quick. Toes, triangle, shins, knees are soft, swirl your thighs, drop your sacrum, put your ribs back in line, then move up to your collarbone. And we call this the clavicle smile. Focus on the center, your sternum, and we're gonna just open each side, smile our clavicle, and did you see how that put my arms in alignment? So I'm gonna release it, and then clavicle smile. It lifts up my trunk just by opening my clavicle, and it put my hands in, my arms, my hands in perfect alignment. We'll do it once more. Clavicle smile. Notice how my thumbs are forward. That's our neutral alignment. From here, I'm gonna drop my chin down just a little bit, just a smidgen, maybe an inch or so. And I'm gonna focus on my earlobes, all right? If it all hasn't been weird, it's gonna get even weirder right now, but this is our last step. So my chin is down. Before we do this, go back to your toes. Toes are soft, triangles equal, shins are engaged, knees are soft, swirl your thighs, drop your sacrum, ribs are in line, equal clavicle smile. Make sure one shoulder is not in front of the other with our clavicle. My chin is dropped, so my gaze is down slightly, only slightly. Then focus on your earlobes. Just like your feet could walk up the stairs backwards, I need your earlobes to walk up the stairs. So it's step, step, step. 3 steps of where your earlobes are just going up the stairs, kind of like they're hopping. And there you have complete neutral alignment. One more time, I'm gonna go back through it. Toes are soft, triangles equal, shins are engaged, knees are soft, swirl your thighs, drop your sacrum, ribs in line, clavicle is smiling and equal, chin is down just a smidgen, walk those earlobes up 3 stairs, and there you have it. And now you probably feel really uncomfortable because your body's not used to being in that. The more that you practice these steps in everything that you do, the easier it will be. And why do we care? This is the alignment of your body. Just like the alignment for a car or a truck, it needs to be aligned. I need my body to be aligned when I'm doing anything. The dishes, laying in bed, doing an exercise. And especially for those of us that do work, manual therapists, so we are doing work with our hands, I need neutral alignment. Thanks, guys.